Hey you guys, thanks so much for clicking on my channel with All Smiles Over Here. I am Will Sonja. It's like asking a question. Will Sonja help you keep your smile for today? And hopefully the answer is yes, you guys. I'm trying to keep you alone, but y'all know if it gets good, I'm gonna do what? Keep on talking. The golden nugget is think, no, not big. I know that's what you thought I was gonna say. No, the golden nugget is think possible. There is a difference. There is a difference. Sometimes, y'all, when we're thinking quote unquote big, which is still good, sometimes when we're thinking big, it's really not big. It's really not. Sometimes we're going, I want this, I want that, I'm gonna get asked for this, I'm gonna request that. And really, when you think big, sometimes you're thinking big based on your coin, based on what you think you can afford on a number. And that's not thinking big at all. That means you're limiting yourself. And if you're limiting yourself, that means there's a faint line of what? Lack. I'll give you an example. I remember hearing this lady talk about how she had put in a request to get a Range Rover, the manifested Range Rover. Can't think of her name right now. Hopefully it comes back to me. But she had a picture of what Range Rover she wanted, and she had it up there. And she was putting in the work, putting in some work and what have you. And she actually went to the dealership. She saw the Range Rover that she had hanging up in her house, right? She go up to it, and the guy started telling her about it, and showing her all the facets and stuff. She's all excited. And the dude tells her it's gonna be $800 a month. Yeah, a whopping $800, right? So when he says that, she starts to moonwalk from that manifestation. In other words, she was like, I don't want to pay that much. That's too much. I don't want to pay that much. That's too much. That's what she was saying. So the guy took her over to a smaller version of that one that she really wanted. And that one was $600 a month. And she went back home, what have you, and then she cut out another picture of a Range Rover. This time it was of the smaller version, right? And she still was striving to pull in that manifestation, but she had not received it as of yet. And one of the reasons why she had not received it was, she said, and I automatically knew as well, was because she had two things up. She had the Range Rover that she knows she really wanted, and she had the one that cost less, that was a little bit cheaper. And because of that, there was no clarity. She wasn't clear about what she wanted. In other words, this is how she was with Source. Source was saying, okay, you want a Range Rover. Which one do you want? And she'd go, I want this one. He said, okay. Then she said, no, I want this one. And he go, okay. I'm like, no, I want this one. And then he's right the granddad, no, I want this one. So she's going back and forth with Source. No, I think I want this. No, I want this one. I changed my mind. I want this one. I changed my mind. I want this. So in between time, while she's in between trying to figure out that, Source said, okay, you just stay right there. I'm going to put that on pause. You get back with me when you know what you want. So she stayed in between time of trying to figure this out. She actually literally stayed in between time of not receiving a car. Why? Because there was no clarity. Once she made up her mind which one she wanted, she actually got it. She actually got the smaller one. Well, I'm going to tell you why she ended up with the smaller one. And if you watch a video, if I can think of who she is right now, it's been a minute now. But the reason why she got the smaller one is because she relied off of her coin versus Sources. And I tell you guys, a lot of times when you request something, you think big, but sometimes, like I told you, you're thinking big. Y'all, I'm checking my time. You're thinking big off of what your coin could do, or based off of your job, or based off of your spouse, or based off of whatever. You get what I'm saying? Versus you understanding that all of your resources come from Source. You get what I'm saying? So the fact that when she said, oh, I don't want to pay that much, that's too much for that one, she automatically put herself on a slippery slope for not receiving that manifestation. Why? Because she implied that there was going to be a lack and that she could not afford that. Which she was correct, but she forgot that it wasn't her coin that was going to get her what she really wanted. And a lot of us fall into that parameter of looking at our coin as far as it's going to get us what we want. And that's not the case. I tell you guys, I've told you guys before, we weren't poor, but we weren't rich. And because of that, we would, as kids, we didn't really ask our parents for a whole lot. We weren't the type of kids that, I want this, I want that, can you buy me this, can you buy me that, I want this new sneakers, I want this new da-da. We just knew not to ask for it because we knew that, hey, mama and daddy are working and they have this right here to go for that, and we don't want to ask for that because we don't want to take away from that, because if we take away from that, maybe we may not have lights, we may not have this, we may not have that. So we were, I think, I would say we were more of an ease on our parents. You get what I'm saying? We weren't spoiled brats. We were grateful for everything we had. We wanted a little bit more, but we were grateful. But growing up like that, it put me in a mental state of whenever I would go out on a date, or if I took myself shopping, or if I went out shopping or what have you, or if somebody said, get what you want, I want to take you out, I want to do this for you. Y'all, I wasn't looking for the quality or looking for what I like. My mind, my mental, my eyes will always go to price. How much does it cost? So if I went shopping, I would go to the rack, and instead of me looking at what I want, my eyes would go straight to the tag. If I saw that the tag was expensive, I'd be like, no, let me find something else. Even though I like that, nope, not gonna do it. Why? Because I was basing it off of my coin. So I'm there, I am going through the rack, and I see something that costs like $10. Like, okay, I can make this work. I can make this work. I can make this work. And I'll go ahead and buy it. Yeah, I'll be happy I got something. But in my mind, I'm thinking about that, the first shirt I looked at, or the first dress I looked at, or the first pair of shoes I saw. Then if I went out to eat with somebody, whether it was on a date or what have you, they ask, what do you want? And I'll ask them either once, what are you going to get? In other words, trying to figure out what was in their pocket, because that was me thinking about, hey, I don't want to break you. I don't want to use up all your money. I don't want to do, which that was a kind thing, but I was cutting off people from being a blessing to me, or for just treating me, just being nice to me, right? And so I would look on the menu and say, you know what, maybe I just get a salad, and maybe I'll let my meal be right at $10, $9.99. Yeah, I could do that. I'll do that, and I'll just get a water. So I would do that. I'm quite sure they would be happy, but I actually had one guy to say, don't do that, but how he said it was like so mean, because I was like, I'm just trying to look up here. He said, no, don't worry about me. I'm here to take you out. And I was like, what, really? But then when I met my husband, I didn't have to do that. He just said, he just started out, don't worry about anything. Whatever you want, order it. And I was like, okay. And I would try to, order something real, less expensive. He said, okay. And I'll make my order. My husband's like, at the time we were dating, well, go ahead and get this for her too. It's like he automatically knew she's just trying to be light on my wallet, and I appreciate that. And because you being light on my wallet, I'm gonna do more for you. And I was like, he gets it. But I was still in the mentality of thinking that, hey, you don't want to spend a whole lot, and that's the wrong way to think. Now you want to be wise. You want to be wise, right? You want to be wise. Now, if you're going off your own coin, you need to be wise. Now, if you're going off of sources coin, off of sources, resources, off of his source, then hey, no. What's that? The sky's the limit. Really, the sky is not the limit. You can go think what possible. So I learned that throughout my walk in life, you guys, that whatever I request, and I have to ask myself too. You have to remember this, y'all. I'm checking my time. I'm almost at 10 minutes. When you're requesting things, when I say think possible, when you're thinking possible, always ask yourself, why am I requesting this? Why is it that I want this? Why is it? Now, what you don't want to do is get it because of your ego. And when I say ego, that means you ease God out. That means it's all about your flesh. You just want to be flashy. You just want to do this. You want to do that. Me, if I'm requesting something really nice, whether it's a car or a house, that's because I know I want this for me. It's for our family. It's for me and my husband, our kids and our grandkids. And it's going to be a blessing for them that they have something that gives them inspiration. I don't want to get something just because I can. I want something that's going to give us inspiration. That's going to keep saying, "Keep going, girl." When I wake up, I go, "Oh, it feels good to look at this beautiful house. Oh, and get ready to go to the store. Oh, it feels good to look at this beautiful car as I'm getting in, and I go here and I go there." Not to mention, y'all, when you get things to be an inspiration, it'll show. You will have people come up to you, they just be having a bad day, but then they see you, either how you dress, go, "Man, you made my day. You sharp, you look nice. That's tight what you have on." Or they see you in your car and they go, "Wow, man, that made my day. I never seen one of these before in person, but you made my day." And that's inspiration. So you have to ask yourself, why are you wanting these things? What is the purpose for it? Not that you're not going to get it, but make sure that when you're requesting things that you're getting, that it's being beneficial to you mentally, spiritually. And if it's going to be a benefit and a blessing to you mentally and spiritually, it's most certainly going to do the same thing for those outside. You get what I'm saying? So I had to learn, you guys, that I couldn't come in a mental state of thinking like that lady was. I had to stop that. I had to break that from me. And it's a continuation of that. Because sometimes I'll find myself like, you know what? That just don't make any sense. I don't need to get that. I could just get it. Now go, no, I am going to get this. I can afford this. Why? Because I am abundance. So you don't want to put yourself in a slippery slope of you thinking that you're operating off of your coin. Because it's never your coin. It isn't. Not when you're requesting it from source. It's on his dime. And it'll be the same thing. Say, for instance, if we swap roles, I would say stay in your lane. It's not up to you to figure out how the money's going to come, how the money's going to flow, how you're going to do this and do that. You just have to put in your action, your word, to put in the effort and do those positive things. And then source will come with that you don't have access to in your little space. You get what I'm saying? It'll be all the same, but source say, you know what? I'll make sure you have all the monetary thing, but then you may need something else on the side. Now you have all the monetary, but you need a connection. Trust me, there are a lot of people that have all the money in the world and they're trying to get something, but they're lacking connection. All the money, you know what I'm talking about. You have all the money in the world. They have the money to do what they need to do, but they don't have the right connection. So they're in a space where they say, you know what? I'm just going to be right here. And when source brings me to my right connection, I'm going to be all right. And some of you guys may not have gotten there yet, but you'll get to that space. In other words, I'm saying just stay in your lane. Do what you're supposed to do. Think possible. Stay aligned and connected. Y'all, I'm almost I'm at 13 minutes now. But stay aligned and connected. Think positive. When you're thinking positive, you're going to automatically think possible. And when you're thinking possible, that means that you are actually in a space where your imagination can take you any and everywhere. You get what I'm saying? So do that, you guys. I also like to add on, when you are in a state of manifesting and it's taking a while, make sure you have clarity. I told you guys about that with a young lady. She had up 2 Range Rovers, but she hadn't received either one of them. Why? Because she wasn't clear. Make sure you're clear about it. Not to mention, make sure that you know. Make sure that you know, or just expect it. Because when you're aligned and connected and you're thinking positive and you're thinking possible, that means you are expecting it to happen. I use for a good example our dog Atlas. When we first got Atlas, I've always been singing the alphabet song to him, trying to get him to speak English. Y'all, Atlas hasn't spoken a lick of English yet. However, Atlas gets exactly what he wants. All of his requests, even though he don't speak them to us, he gets them. Y'all, Atlas has a personal chauffeur. We take him everywhere he needs to go, everywhere. He has a personal trainer. I take him walking and running. My husband takes him walking and running. Our kids take him walking and running. He has a personal pooper scooper. I pick up his poop. My husband picks up his poop. My kids pick up his poop. Not only that, Atlas has a personal chef. I prepare his food. My husband prepares his food. Our kids prepare his food. Atlas has a personal masseuse. We all are rubbing and massaging Atlas whenever he wants it. Now, if Atlas have all those things and he hasn't spoken a lick, not a lick, okay, of English, that's how it works. He just expects it. He just knows. He just thinks possible. Not once does he wake up every single day thinking that we're not going to supply that to him. He don't wake up saying, are they going to love me? Are they going to rub me? Are they going to feed me? Are they going to pick up my poop? He doesn't get up thinking that. He just gets up knowing that they going to do it. Are he just that crazy enough to believe that I don't speak English? I don't speak human? But they going to do this for me. And that's how we have to be with Source. You don't speak, you speak English. Source understands you. You're supposed to understand Source just to that point to know that you just expecting it. Why? Because you just know Source is going to do it. So Atlas ain't asking us how much dog food. Let me see if I can dig up in the backyard, see if I can find some oil, find something to help y'all pay for it. Atlas ain't worried about our corn. Atlas is not worried about how much his treats cost. He's not worried about how much his food costs. He's not worried about how much gas it's going to take for us to get to the store to buy him his dog food. He's not worried about, Atlas don't worry about nothing about us, what we have to bring to the table. He said, they ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just supposed to be here to look cute, wag my tail, bark every once in a while, rub my head against you every once in a while. That's all. He stay in his lane. He does all of that. He's not worried about what's in our pockets. He's not worried about what's in your wallet. He's not. That's the farthest thing from Atlas's mind. Why? Because it doesn't concern him. He just knows we're his source to provide his resources, and that's all I'm telling you guys. And when you understand that and really take that to heart, then you can really start thinking possible. Y'all, I'm at 17 minutes. I told y'all, I warned y'all. I said if it got good, I was gonna keep on talking. So I did warn y'all. But Atlas don't think about none of that stuff. He really doesn't. And we have to be in that mindset. So when you are making your request, like I said, don't think big. Think possible. Why? Because it's not on your dime. It's not even on your time. It's not on your dime, on your time. The only thing you have to do is just put in the request. Stay aligned and connected. Think positive, and automatically you're going to think possible. You're going to think possible. Because when you're right there, things happen in your life to where people go, that's impossible. That's impossible. But it's impossible in their mind because they're thinking about their dime. And they actually trying to count your dime, trying to count your coin in your pocket, trying to figure out. Because that's how some people do. Some people say, well, I don't know how you're doing that. Things aren't adding up. Stuff ain't adding up. Because you work where? And you driving that? Or you work where? And you dress like that? And you work where? And you live in a house like that? And you work where? People will do that. They'll try to count and add up your coin. But that's the thing, y'all. They just don't know that your stuff that you're getting, you're thinking possible. So you know it's not on your coin. It's not on your dime. It's on sources. Because all your resources come from who? Source. You have to remember that. You really do. You have to remember that. So when you are requesting these things from Source, you already know that, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That ain't even about my business. I just put in my request and make it be known, and I'm expecting and I'm thinking possible. Give you an example. You know how for you guys, you could see a guy and his wife looks like she's supposed to be on a runway. Look, she's a model, and you're thinking, how in the world did he land her? How did he... Guys, y'all see that? How did he land her? I know where that dude works. And he ain't making it. He ain't got that coin like that. He ain't making that money like that. I know what type of car he drives. And how did he do that? It just seems impossible for them. But that dude was thinking possible. Just like the ladies. Ladies, y'all have seen certain guys that look like, whoo, like he could be a model. And then you see his wife and you go, you should, I thought that was his cousin. That's his wife. No. You sure? How in the world did she land him? How in the world? How did that happen? Why? How? You ask? She was thinking possible. She was thinking possible. Not only that, I remember hearing somebody talking to somebody, and this lady, she became the president of a college. Now, all of y'all know that to be a president of a college, 9 times out of 10, or 10 out of 10, you are with a what? Doctorate degree. Well, y'all, no different. This lady doesn't have a doctorate degree. She just have a master's. And you can imagine, a lot of people was in an uproar, and they still are. They're trying to figure out how does she get this position? She's not qualified. She's not qualified. And a lot of people are offended because they figure they work super hard, and they probably been dreaming, saying that, hey, listen, I one day I'm gonna be a president of a college, but they're not. But here you have a person with just a master's degree. Maybe they're working on their doctorate, but they don't have it just yet. And the doctorate degrees are looking at this person with a master's degree and saying, that's impossible. How did that happen? How? She's not qualified for the job. How? And I was listening to it, and I went, you know what? You can't knock that person's blessing. You can't knock that person's manifestation. Because when you are coming out of source and sources providing your resource, then like I told y'all before, sometimes, or the majority of the time, qualifications sometimes have nothing to do with it. That's that unconventional. That's that untraditional way. It's just that you are fit for it. And if source says, hey, you're going to be the president of a college. I don't care if you have a master's degree. This is what you're going to do. This is what you have requested. You qualify. You're going to be able to do this thing. And he will put you in that space. Others won't be able to believe it. Others won't be able to take it. You're going to have a whole lot of people upset. Same thing's for you guys. Some of you guys have positions right now on your job that you've been getting raises upon raises upon raises, and you've been getting promoted over and over and over and over. And other people going, why are they getting promoted so much? I'm working harder than them. Well, they ain't up to you. You have to take that up with source. And that's why I tell y'all, don't judge people. Y'all, I'm at 22, 33. But listen, don't judge when you see other people in positions and it look like it was an impossible thing. Just know, when you're aligned and connected, you think possible. And the impossible becomes possible. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And not to mention, that mentality has to match. The mentality has to match the direction that the rocket is going towards the manifestation. So when you say I have faith, that was the difference of us growing up. I say us because I'm quite sure you experienced it. I experienced it. You know, every once in a while, we'll get a spark of the formula, which means you put in the request, you pray, you put in the request, right? And you have the faith, and then your mental matches that, which means you're thinking possible, not big. You're not thinking big, but you're thinking possible, and then it comes together. But it only happens sporadically. It only happens at certain points in your life. And then now that we're at a point, because if you're watching this video, now you're at a point that you understand that this is a formula that works for every single thing in my life. So when you put in your request, first of all, you're aligned and connected. You're thinking positive. So now your faith without works is dead. So now you put in the work, the real work, the right type of work, the right formula. Everything is working. So everything is working together for your good. Now you get everything together. It's working together, and good's going to come out of it. Why? Because now your request, your mental thinking are actually matching up. And now you can think what? Possible, not big. You can think possible, because when you're thinking possible, that means your imagination is just whoo, whatever it is that you want. Whatever type of car, whatever type of house, whatever type of spiritual healing, whatever type of spiritual growth, or if you want long hair, if you want short hair, if you want whatever it is, listen, it's possible. It is. Y'all, I'm not going to keep y'all much longer. I'm almost at 25 minutes, but I hope y'all got the gist of it. Don't think big. Think possible. Don't be looking at price tags. You ain't going off of your coin, okay? You're not going off of your coin. You know what it is that you desire. You know what it is that you're requesting. Make sure that mentor is matching. Make sure you stay aligned and connected. I know I keep repeating myself, but I really want y'all to get it. Okay? Listen, I'm not going to keep y'all much longer. If you take just a little bit of what I'm telling you and apply to your life to the best of your ability, you won't ever have to mask a smile. Why? Because your smiles will always be genuine. I'll talk to y'all soon. I hope y'all got the gist of it. Don't think big. Think possible. Talk to y'all soon. Be blessed. Stay blessed. Be blessed. Stay blessed. Y'all know what's coming next. Ciao.